Hi, my name is Kevin Lopez. I'm on the Azure Stack Global Black Belt team, and I'm joined here today by Kathleen Nelson from Datastax.
Thank you.
Kathleen, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So my name is Kathleen Nelson, and I head up cloud business development here at Datastax. We've been partnered with Microsoft for quite a few years, and I'm really excited to come here and talk about our relationship as it relates to Azure Stack.
All right, two quick overviews. So Azure Stack is an extension of Azure at your local facility. So either your headquarters, your data center, your service provider, kind of wherever you want. So remember that, Azure Stack, extension of Azure, and a little intro about Datastax. So Datastax powers the right now enterprise with the always-on distributed cloud database built on Apache Cassandra and designed for hybrid cloud. It's quite a mouthful.
It is quite a mouthful.
Did I do it right?
It did, and I imagine folks want to know what that actually means.
right. So tell us, what's your product?
Yeah, so let's talk about what that means. So the way that I describe when you think about cloud and cloud applications is think about how things have changed since we've added these smartphones into our lives today. We've come to have an expectation of a completely different experience, and so it's about contextuality. And I use this example. It just happened to me just this week. I was traveling here to Chicago, and I'm trying to make a purchase. And back in the day, you just get declined, and you just wouldn't really know why. You call your bank, and they tell you later, well, I didn't know you were traveling. You should have called us.
Right, or they call you, and yeah.
I don't really want to call my bank every time I go somewhere, right?
Right, I agree.
So that you think about that experience where I'm trying to make a purchase. It's an impulse buy, and I really got to have the shoes or whatever it is. And instead, I get a text saying, "Hey, are you at a certain store location, and are you trying to make this purchase?" And press 1 for yes or 2 for no. It's like, oh, wow, yes, I am, and my transaction can go through, right? So that's that contextual experience. It's about me and what I'm trying to do at that very moment. These smartphones have always changed our expectations because we used to quote this SLA of 99.999%.
Right, 5 nines.
It doesn't work anymore.
No.
We need 100% uptime all the time, especially when it comes to cloud applications. It's got to be real time. So back to the experience of it's happening right now at the present time that I'm trying to get something done. It's got to be distributed. So if you think about your experience, I don't know very many people who do not have a Netflix account.
Right.
But think about that experience. If I'm in San Francisco and I'm watching one of my favorite shows, and I decide that I'm going to hop on a plane and go to London and try and resume where I left off in a hotel in London on a completely different device, I get that experience, right? Nobody knows that I'm across the pond.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I like that too, because you pick up kind of just where you left off, and you're not guessing. Like, was I on season 2, episode 3, or season 3, episode 2?
Yep. And think about what goes underneath to deliver that experience, right?
Right. That's quite a bit. Yeah.
And then scalability is the other that other aspect that changes that real time right now enterprise, and think about this. Think about how when an iPhone goes on sale. So like an iPhone 8, for example, right? I'm a telecom company, and I am trying to take orders. I'm not sure how many people are going to come visit me at 8 o'clock in the morning the second that phone goes on sale, and the last thing that I want is that network busy try back
circle of death.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So that talks about the scale issue. So when you talk about your real-time, always-on enterprise, we're the cloud database that delivers those experiences.
I like that. That's really catchy. I like that. So what makes you different, and what makes Datastax different kind of technically? I know you had some technical differentiation.
Yes, so I think that when you think about delivering cloud applications, if you're born in the cloud company, you develop your application in Azure. I think that's there's enough tools that are out there to help you deliver those experience. But think about this. What if you're a 185-year-old legacy bank and you need to be competitive in this cloud world, and you need to go out and start to deliver these cloud-like experiences? How do you do that with legacy systems and old RDMS databases and things like that. You know, are you going to go all in and develop in the cloud? Probably not. It's too difficult to do that. So when you think about it, there, you know, if I can deliver those cloud-like applications, but still use my infrastructure in order to do that, or I may need to keep some of this on premises for compliance reasons and things like that. We're unique in the fact that whether you're deploying 100% in the cloud or you're using some form of on-prem, multi-cloud type or in the cloud experience, we are the glue that helps you, allow you to do that from a single database.
So I want to touch on that for a second, because that is one of Azure Stack's key workloads. So remember, with Azure Stack, when you have an application, say you are a 180-year-old bank or something, you have all your applications, and you need to kind of keep those on premises, and you need a platform to develop them on. Azure's your platform, and Azure Stack is your way to do that. So working with Datastax, now you can have that and begin that migration path, right? So that's a lot of people's hybrid cloud and what people define it as, right, in their digital transformation.
Right.
Excellent. And tell us about the cards. What's the cards?
So that's what we covered is the contextuality, the always on, real time. Yeah,
that's right. Okay.
Datastax refers to cards as, those are the, when you look for uniqueness in terms of why you'd want to use a distributed cloud database. If you've got one of those reasons to do it, then
right.
that's we label it cards as the kind of the right use cases that make us so valuable.
Okay, so we talk a little bit technical. Tell us a little bit more about some of the business value that you guys deliver.
Yeah, absolutely. So think about, and Datastax is built, and I like to brag that some of the world's biggest, greatest companies really kind of helped us to solve a lot of problems as it relates to business. And so you take a look at like our customers like McDonald's or Comcast or even Microsoft for that example, UBS, et cetera. When they're looking at their digital transformation initiatives, it could be anything from a customer 360, right? We want to know as much as we can about that customer so that we can create a unique experience for them. Or perhaps we want to, if I'm in retail, I want to work on my loyalty programs, right? Because we're in a competitive world with e-commerce and things like that. So I want to be able to develop loyalty as it relates to brick and mortar or e-commerce. Or you use the example of fraud detection, right?
Right.
Consumer, instant consumer fraud detection. Those are some of the ways that we help some of these very large enterprises transform their business in terms of these very business critical cloud application deliveries.
Okay, and so you've given us really great use cases, examples. How does Datastax align with Azure and Azure Stack?
Great question. Like I said, we've been partnered with Microsoft for a few years, and one of the things that we're very excited about where Microsoft is seeing enterprise today and where we're seeing the same thing is that not all use cases are going to be developed in the cloud.
Right.
And like I said, you and I talked about this, disconnected solutions, right? And being able to have, sometimes you have to have an infrastructure close to where you're at for whatever reason, right? We talked about compliance. There is certain industries, there are certain situations where for compliance sake that data cannot leave your premises.
Right.
So Microsoft recognizing that and being able to address the market for Azure Stack is fully in line where we see our customers as well. Our customers there's more and more customers are recognizing there's value in being able to have agility to leverage on-premise for cited reasons like compliance and edge, et cetera, but it's still be able to have the cloud-like experience that Azure delivers.
Right.
So it's a great marriage for us in terms of our delivery and value back to the customer.
This has been wonderful. So just to recap, but remember, right? So one of the big use cases, there's three major use cases. There's like latency or disconnected solutions. There's regulatory. And then there's application modernization when we're talking about Azure Stack and why it would fit in your environment. So Datastax and Kathleen have been really great in the first one out of the box to tell us about the solution and what they're doing for Azure and Azure Stack. So the next obvious question is, how do the customers engage with you?
Absolutely. So as far as engagement, we're very excited to work within the Azure Marketplace, because that is a great way for customers to go and find Datastax today. We've got the ability, you can take it for a test drive, you can download it in Azure, but more importantly, you also can work with your Microsoft partner. So, right? So if you have an AE or a cloud solution architect that you're working with, we've done a really good job of educating them in terms of our value, and so they do know how to help build a solution that the customers can take advantage of. In addition to that, you can always visit us at datastax.com, and we also have Datastax Academy, which is another area where you can get education, training, better look at use cases and things like that.
Wonderful. And engage us, right? So the Azure Stack Global Black Belts have met with Datastax. We understand the people on their side of it, and we're happy to engage. Any closing thoughts, Kathleen?
I think from a closing thought perspective, again, remember that partnership. Remember that, whether you choose to engage through Datastax or you choose to engage with Microsoft, we are a unified front in terms of being able to help deliver deliver on your cloud application initiatives.
Absolutely. And thank you again for visiting us here. And well, today it's sunny Chicago, so this is great. Please review the other Azure Stack videos on our channel, on our Azure Stack Global Black Belt channel. And again, thanks again for Kathleen for coming and sharing with us, and we look forward to the next video. See you soon.
See you soon.